What's up, guys? It's Corey from Lion Dads back with another video for you. I wanted to make this video because a lot of people like to get started or want to get started eating like a carnivore diet, and they get intimidated from all the options out there, and they wonder about the foods they should be getting and how to go about it. And I mean, on face value, we all know that on a carnivore diet, it's eat meat as the basic concept of this whole way of eating. But I know in my first experience, I walked into the store with this goal in mind, wanting to get started, and suddenly walked in like I felt overwhelmed. I was looking at products off the shelf, like, is this thing okay? Is that thing okay? And it took me a good while to get dialed in to where I'm at now. But at times, there was a little bit of a learning curve involved. And I'll be honest, sometimes, I've been doing this for a few years now, and sometimes there still is. So naturally, we as dads or whatever demographic of functioning adult you belong to, you should know where the grocery store is and where things in it are typically located. Your whole like natural food products, your whole food products will take up some part of the outer perimeter of the store. And then all your processed horse shit trash food, you'll find that like in the center aisles. And I will say that there are some things you can grab from the center aisles, hidden amongst all the garbage, but more on that later. So for me, obviously, I go straight past all the middle aisles. I go past the veggies and fruits and crap and straight to the meat section. And that's where 99% of my grocery shopping occurs. So that's where you'll get all the stuff that they cut in the back. You get your steaks, you get your ground beef, you get your pork chops, your cuts of chicken, roasts, and all that stuff. For the way I do it, and man, I like a little variety. So all this stuff that I find in the meat section is fair game for me. A good amount of carnivores do shy away from pork a little bit and some other things, basically because of the way the pork you get in the grocery store is fed. And of course, these are valid concerns. Some of the concerns being that since pigs don't digest food the same way cattle do, you end up with some of the bad elements of what they eat in their meat. Omega 6s are an example of that. And I'm not a scientist or the biologist or anything like that. So this is all stuff that I've heard from sources that I trust. That's why I kind of go off of it. And I don't necessarily shy away from pork myself, but I do go about getting my pork products differently from other people. So I'll get to that more on later. But if your only option to get meat is from the store, I'd say go for it if you like pork and want to keep eating it. Like I said, it's not a staple of my diet, but I do eat it. I would also say grab all the chicken stuff you want. Um, I personally don't find chicken or poultry all that satiating, but there are a lot of ways you can make chicken. It's really versatile like that. So if you get bored, chicken's a great option to mix in your diet and make some different dishes in certain ways. You just need to find ways to get creative. And there's a lot of carnivores with some awesome recipes online, some great channels and videos. Carnivorous Chef comes to mind. They make really awesome food. And I plan on maybe sharing some ideas of different ways you can make certain dishes in future videos. But anyway, also feel free to eat chicken if you want to eat chicken. Now, with all that said, beef is the absolute foundation of my carnivore diet, as it is for most people that eat a carnivore diet. And like all the experts say, the fattier cuts are always the best to get. Your body needs that fat for hormone production, energy, things like that. So don't shy away from fat like your mom did in the 80s and 90s. Like I said, I'm no scientist, as I've said, but I am educated enough to know that stuff's been debunked a long time ago. And if you'll feel better hearing it from a doctor or scientist, go check out Sean Baker, Ken Berry. Both are doctors. They'll tell you the exact same thing, and they'll have more research and documentation that you can, look at to back those ideas up. And now that isn't to say you can't ever eat lean cuts. That's totally fine. They have great protein content if you're trying to build muscle. And if you worry about the lack of fat in some of the leaner cuts of meat, just cook them in butter or bacon grease, top them off with a pat of butter or whatever you want to do to add some fat to them. You might find this to be a good option if you're eating on a budget, but as I said, beef should be a staple of your carnivore diet. I also hit up the seafood section, everything in the seafood aisle, shrimp, fish, lobster, you name it. That's all fair game to me. Obviously, you stay away from the imitation crab products. Those are full of fillers and processed crap. That's obviously not carnivore. Other than that, you should be good unless you have an allergy or something to shellfish. Anything you might have an allergic reaction to, obviously, you know, use your best judgment, right? That's common sense. So in the middle aisles of the store, like I said, they're full of crap, full of your processed shit, mac and cheese and cereal and candy and protein bars and stuff that are full of processed crap. But you can absolutely check out the canned meats. I don't go around eating potted meat or anything like that, but canned tuna, canned chicken, those are some items I definitely take advantage of. Um, some stores they sell these like egg white tortillas, or you can get them on Amazon or in the store, or whatever. And I make like a chicken salad wrap out of it with the canned chicken and some like good mayonnaise, homemade mayonnaise or Primal Kitchen mayonnaise. It's pretty good that way. That's what I had for lunch at work yesterday. So don't think there's absolutely nothing you can eat in the center aisles. You can definitely find some good options in there. So the frozen food section of your grocery store, you can use that too. You can find frozen chicken, frozen hamburger patties, all that type of stuff. The only caveat I add to that is I want to make sure you guys are aware of checking the ingredients on the back of everything you're buying. Like seriously, guys, check the damn ingredients. I bought some hamburger patties without looking at the food label a long time ago, and I was buying them, for a while. And I found out later, after I was eating them, that they're packed full of dextrose, soybean oil, and all kinds of other crap that I was unaware of, and stuff that does not fit into my way of eating. So they'll sneak that shit into anything. So seriously, be meticulous in checking that stuff. You have to get in the habit of knowing what goes in your food because what's going into your food is going into your body when you eat it. So make sure you're checking those labels all the time. So that covers pretty much most of the grocery store. Don't think I got into eggs and dairy, but you all know that stuff is in there. And if that's a part of your diet, which I recommend, especially the eggs, eat eggs, guys, seriously, if you can. But I'm gonna get now more into my personal favorite way that I get my food and the way that I'm pretty much switching all the way to, with some exceptions, obviously. So, and that way is from the last couple of years, I've started getting my meat straight from a rancher. So, a couple summers ago, I'll tell you guys a little how I got into this. I was at a farmer's market with my wife. That was right after things started kind of opening back up a bit, and I saw a booth for a local farm out here in Colorado called Winter's Beef. They had some samples of their frozen ground beef, and like ground beef is a huge staple of my diet. It's easy, versatile. I can make a different ground beef dish every week or every day of the week if I wanted to. So I got a bunch of their ground beef and I took it home. I cooked it up, and that was it. I was blown away, by the quality of what I was eating. I can't describe the difference of the beef straight off the farm compared to what you get in the store. Like, yeah, it definitely tastes better for starters, but it also just somehow tastes and feels healthier. So I can't describe it. You just have to try it and see what the difference is. But when you're eating it, your body tells you like, oh man, this is what I want. This is it right here. And it's actually one other perk of it. It's awesome to be able to meet the people who are actually raising your food, actually developing a professional relationship with them as a client. You see the way the animals are cared for. If they're close to your local area, most of them will let you come out, actually see the conditions that the animals live in, the way they feed them, the way they are cared for, running around, all that stuff. That stuff matters to me. And then they send the meat to the butcher, who you can also get to know. I know I have, and they get to know you, how you like your meat prepared, how you like it packaged, and that stuff's just been a real game changer for us. I seriously can't stress that if you live in an area where you can find a rancher, do yourself a favor and check this option out. It seriously has changed the way I eat for the better. And believe it or not, it's actually super cost effective. It's a lot more upfront. Like you're dropping a couple, like $1,000 or whatever up front, but you aren't going to the store for months. It's awesome. It's an awesome option. And I've bought cattle or my beef from them for a while, and then they also do pork. So I also get my pork from them now to circle back on that subject. So a lot of the pork you get in the store is fed God knows what, and they don't digest food the way cows do, like I said. So there is that theory that a lot of those omega sixes get stored in the meat and then consumed by you. And the pork I get is fed a high quality diet, so you don't have these concerns anymore. You know, they're fed actual whole vegetables and the things they like to eat, none of the processed junk, none of the filler oils and all that crap. So I just don't have these concerns with ingredient like things being in the meat that I don't want putting in me, you know. So definitely get out there, go to some farmers markets or look up someone in your area and take advantage of this option. It's a cleaner way of eating. You're supporting local. These are all awesome benefits of getting your food this way. So I also get my eggs this way now. I have a source that I buy my eggs from, totally free range. I get over 3 dozen eggs a week from them now. And once again, you can taste the quality. You can actually see the quality in the yolk color compared to the store. So I drive up to get my eggs and I see the chickens running around, totally free range. And I know eggs are a hot topic right now. They're getting really expensive in the stores, and there's been issues with eggs and stuff. And I know how absolutely blessed I am to have found this option when I did. You know, the prices of eggs have gone up in the store, and the prices that I've been paying have been the same for what 2.5 years now. So if that's something you can find, definitely try it out because unlike the stuff you're getting in the store, the cost of my eggs hasn't gone up 1 cent. It's awesome. So another option that I use a lot less is online. You can go on Amazon and find products that you can use with your diet, like I was talking about those egg wrap tortillas a little bit ago. But it all depends on the style of the carnivore on. You know, so if you're like a dirtier carnivore, you can get different seasonings, for example, or like condiments and stuff. I am a little lax on my diet in the seasoning department. You know, I kind of go through shifts and balances where I'll be a little dirtier some time of the year. Sometimes I'll just go straight beef and butter. But you know, right now, like for example, I'm doing some seasonings and stuff like that. And the problem is, I have a hard time finding seasonings and stuff that are quality for what I want to do in the store. Most of them are full of sugars. They're full of seed oils. There's other crap in there that I don't want touching my food. I don't want to eat. So I go online and I find good options that don't have any of these, you know, types of ingredients in them. And I also buy my condiments on there. I don't use condiments a lot, but there are some awesome brands that they're not necessarily always strict pure carnivore, but they're as clean as you can get. They don't have any carbs or anything like that in them. No extra sugar, no sugar at all, or no extra sugar or anything. Like I said, it all depends on the style of carnivore you're doing. I do have periods, like I said, where I eat these products, kind of a stricter version of ketovore, I guess. But I have periods where I go super clean and I keep these out of my diet. So think of all that stuff before you buy, like how are you doing things, right, and stuff like that. One of my favorite things to get online, though, and I will say everybody should check this out, is ground pork rinds. I buy these things. They're like little jars of ground pork rinds. You can just process, put pork rinds in the processor if you want to do it this way too. But I buy these as breadings. So I use them when I make like fried chicken, chicken nuggets, chicken fried steak, or whatever you would normally put like a breading on. And they sell all kinds of different flavored ones. Like, so for example, I used the Italian flavored pork rind panko on Valentine's Day, and I made like this awesome chicken parm for my wife. She went absolutely nuts over. It tasted like a breaded chicken parm that I'd get like at a restaurant or something. I'm sure I'm not like an Olive Garden quality chef or anything like that, but you know, it was good as anything I've ever made at home. So get out there and check some of that stuff out. But the same rules apply as the grocery store. Just make sure you're checking the labels to see what you can food. If you go and see what's in your food. So if you go on like the pictures, you can scroll through the pictures and they'll usually have the nutrition ingredients label in there, and just go through that stuff. Get in the habit, make that a part of your life to where it's just routine. Every time I pick up a product, I'm flipping it over and I'm reading the ingredients. So one day I do want to do a video on all the stuff I like to buy, but I really don't know how all that works. I'll have to go through and post links so you guys can get it or whatever. I'm still pretty new to this stuff, and I know some people, they post the, you know, how to get their stuff, but I just, I haven't gotten that deep into this yet. But it is something in my plans, and I'll figure that stuff out and get you guys some good ideas of exactly what products I buy and eat. That'll be coming sometime, hopefully in the not too distant future. So that's basically it, guys. There's a lot of different ways you can go about getting food on this diet. You don't have to feel intimidated by this process. You'll probably find it simple once you get the hang of it. It was really a quick thing for me to pick up on. You'll probably make a lot of mistakes in the beginning, and that's fine. It's all part of the process. And as always, guys, the links to all my socials and stuff are down in the description. Hit like on the video, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell to keep seeing my content, and leave a comment down below with any questions you have or any ideas or any other ways that to get meat that maybe I didn't cover. And I really love talking to you guys on here. The interactions I've had with you guys have all been great, and I want to keep that rolling, keep that up. I just want to help people a lot. So that's basically it. Do all that, and I will talk to you guys later. Till next time, peace out.